Hi, it's Lena here, and in this video I'd like to present to you Arturia's universal music-making MIDI controller, Keylab MK3. In this video we'll explain what it is, how it works, and why we believe it is a premium keyboard for modern creatives. Let's get into it. Keylab MK3 is an inspiring and intuitive keyboard controller designed to make your music-making workflow more personal and enjoyable than before. It comes with a velocity-sensitive keyboard with a synth action feel, fresh controls including contextual buttons and pressure-sensitive pads, a bright new screen, creative features like scale mode, a premium creative software bundle, and much more. Whether you're a beginner producer or an experienced music maker looking for a refreshed setup, Keylab MK3 distills everything you want in a controller into a simple, fun, expressive keyboard for production and performance. Now let's dive in and see what it can do. The first thing to know about Keylab MK3 is that it is a full plug-and-play experience. If your DAW is up to date, Keylab MK3 will be instantly linked to all the useful settings and controls when you connect it. Between its custom mapping for major DAWs and familiar MCU HUI protocols, it can be used to control any DAW. At launch, you can toggle between three modes. Arturia mode, letting you control Analog Lab and other Arturia software instruments. DAW mode, which gives you total control over your DAW. And user mode for your own custom programs. You can find out more details on the integration between Keylab MK3, Analog Lab, and major DAWs in our dedicated tutorial series, which you'll find in our YouTube playlists. Now let's do a quick tour of all the front and back panel features. First up, you've got the velocity-sensitive keyboard that feels great and is perfect for playing all types of sounds and styles. Next, we have 12 backlit RGB colorful pads with 4 banks, giving you 48 additional MIDI destinations that you can control with these. They are perfect for triggering drums, clips, or samples. On top of that, Keylab MK3 features 9 touch-sensitive encoders, ideal for controlling your favorite virtual instruments or external devices. Plus 9 faders for controlling volume, effects, envelope shaping, and anything else in your DAW. Keylab MK3 features a bright display that allows you to visualize DAW or software functions that you are controlling, as well as gain access to detailed MIDI settings, among others. It also shows real-time info about your faders, knobs, and pads. To navigate the screen, you can use the main encoder to go through settings and use it to choose an option by pressing it, as well as contextual buttons above and below the screen that correspond to it in different ways depending on the menus. Next, you'll find the transport section with DAW controls, with details depending on your particular DAW of choice. We'll explore this section more in our dedicated DAW integration videos. There are also buttons for undo, redo, save, quantize, pitch bend and modulation wheels, octave transpose switches, MIDI channel, program, banks, and settings selection buttons. Lastly, creative features like chord mode, scale mode, and arpeggiator can be accessed via dedicated buttons. The back panel has a USB-C connection for connecting Keylab MK3 to your computer, iPad, or power source, a sustain, expression, and aux inputs, as well as full MIDI I/O. Let's now go over the major functions and features in a bit more detail. The Keylab MK3 comes with a dedicated keyboard designed specifically for it, elevating its quality and comfort while playing to a new level. Whether you are using Keylab MK3 with 49 or 61 keys, you can easily extend its octave range with the Oct- and Oct+ switches. You can also transpose the notes of your melodies by semitones, if you'd prefer to use different keys. To do so, simply press the trans, plus, or minus buttons. Both of these actions will be displayed on the screen to visualize your decision. It is also worth noting that you can easily change the keyboard MIDI channel by pressing the MIDI button and a corresponding key, labeled just above the keyboard. Another way of using Keylab MK3 creatively is to play with its 12 pads. These 12 velocity and pressure-sensitive pads come with 4 banks: A, B, C, and D. This allows you to extend the amount of sounds that you can trigger with these 12 pads to 48. These pads are great for playing drums or instruments, as well as triggering clips in particular DAWs. The default MIDI channel is 10. In the user or Arturia modes, both banks simply trigger MIDI notes. They also have various specific functions when using Keylab MK3 in DAW mode. This is covered in the dedicated videos on DAW integration. Find these in our YouTube playlist. The pad's adjustable velocity levels are always visible on the display and can change even if you press and hold the pad. Keylab MK3 comes with a selection of playful features, and the arpeggiator is one of them. An arpeggiator turns any note or chord into a repeated sequence that loops. To activate this function in Keylab MK3, all you have to do is press the ARP button. This will engage the arpeggiator as shown on the display. After enabling, simply press whatever notes you want and Keylab MK3 will arpeggiate them. This arpeggiator by default is set to trigger notes at a certain speed, direction, and time division, and has many other options that define its behavior. You can edit all of these options using the ARP menu and the contextual buttons which correspond to the ARP's features. Press and hold the ARP button to open the menu. Use 8 buttons to choose a particular arpeggiator function, and then use the main encoder to choose a dedicated value. Keylab MK3 arpeggiator comes with the ARP random feature that allows you to randomize its patterns. Enter the random page to explore all its functions. Here you can define trig probability as well as randomize divisions, octaves, skips, gates, ratchet, and velocity. These are designed in a way to allow you to always end up with some sweet spots despite heavy tweaking. Lastly, use the dice button to generate random values for all these functions. This brings a lot of fun when you're in need of a bit of inspiration to get you going. The hold button lets you hold the notes or arpeggio you're currently playing, even if you let go of the keys. If you play another note, chord, or arpeggio, it will replace the last one. Keylab MK3 also comes with an amazing scale feature. This allows you to set up scales on the keyboard so that every note is in key. To activate it, press the scale button. To enter the scale settings, long press the scale button. Inside, you'll see the root and type sections. The root tab allows you to pick the root note for your scale, which can be done with the use of the main encoder. The same goes for scale types. Press the types button to choose your scale. This will lock the keyboard to the chosen scale, so even if you play notes that are outside of it, Keylab will transpose them to the chosen scale. You can also create your own scales by pressing the record button and then pressing whatever notes you want to include. Another major feature of Keylab MK3 is its chord mode. This function allows you to play chords and multiple notes with just one finger, and with scale mode activated, you can easily create harmonious chord sequences. To enter chord mode, press the chord button. After this, the display will show that the chord mode is on. Now when you again press and hold the same button, the screen will say Create User Chord. To create your chord, simply play up to 16 notes and Keylab MK3 will save them as a newly created chord. The screen will visualize the creation process. You can now also choose various chord types from the preset list, as well as your user chords. Keylab 3 chord mode comes to life with its extra creative features. These are strum, voicing, and spread. Strumming allows you to break down your chord to make it sound like you would be strumming a guitar. Voicing allows you to extend your chord to lower areas of the keybed, up to -3 octaves lower. While spread allows you to add up to 16 notes to your existing chord, and use velocity and aftertouch keyboard modulators that define how many notes will be triggered. You can even use chord mode alongside other features like scale and arp for really interesting results. It's worth mentioning that you can configure your Keylab MK3 directly from the hardware. To do that, simply use the Settings button. Once you press it, the screen will display the global and keyboard settings. The global settings allow you to define options such as velocity or aftertouch curves, pedal calibration, pad sensitivity, or DAW protocols. While in the keyboard menu, you can access MIDI parts or deeper aftertouch functions. We will cover this in detail in a dedicated tutorial that you can find in our YouTube playlist. And that's it. Hopefully this quick overview showed you how interesting the Keylab MK3 is and how exciting it can be for your music production workflow. Don't forget to check out the rest of our Keylab MK3 videos for tips and tricks on how to get the most out of it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you soon.